Hey there everyone, this is Iram here, and today we are going to create this video player. This video player has all the essential elements uh, which are required, which should have within a video player. So let me show you that it is responsive also, and let me show you that it has a play button. Then we can pause it. It has a functionality of pausing. Then the volume, the volume icon is also responding at the same time when we are increasing or decreasing. This span, this time span is also working. Like if I click here, it's back, and here is the time. This is the total time duration of this video, and it has a time lapse, like time sequence, that where we can increase the time, or like let me bring it. Actually the video is too short, so if the video is here, let me play this, and you can see it is fast now. If I put it here, then it is too slow. Okay, it has all the elements which a video player should have, and it has the ability of full screen. So you can see that it has the ability of full screen. Yeah, while I was talking, now I noticed that when I was talking the sound was too much. So let me tell you that what I was saying here, that it has the playback rate, or the playback ratio of the video can work according to these numbers, or according to these time limits. So this is what we are going to create. And this button also, you can see that when there is now you cannot hear anything, there isn't any kind of sound. Now here is just a little bit more, and now it's full. So you guys can see that the icon is also working, and the speed is 0.5, so it's very slow. It's working according to 0.5, and if I make it to this one, so you can see that it is too fast, and the span is growing rapidly. Okay, it is growing fastly, quickly. So now let me show you this, the responsiveness of this project. So here you guys can see that it is responsive, and you can see all these icons are looking good on this responsive, okay, on the responsive screen. They are looking fine. Everything is looking good. And the project is, the technology I've used in this project are HTML5, CSS, and JavaScript. So I hope that you guys will learn something new while creating this project, something new of JavaScript, right? So let's start working with this one. Here is my code editor, VS Code, and I already have a folder, so video player tutorial, and I'm gonna create a file, index.html. Then I would like to create another file within that folder, main.css, and another file that would be main.js. Okay, so within this index.html, I'm gonna use the template, starter template of HTML. So here I would like to say video player tutorial, and I would like to link the CSS. So link it to my CSS. So here is style sheet, and href would be main.css. Then in the body, let's use the JavaScript, and the JavaScript is gonna be main dot not CSS, sorry, main.js. So now let me tell you that what we would like to have for this play button, this speaker icon, this full screen button. I didn't show you that it is working on full screen, so you guys can see that when I click on it, it has it. Now it is on full screen. So when I click on it, it go straight normal position. So for all these icons we need font awesome icon. And you guys know about my trick using font awesome icon. I have my code. Go to the site and get the code, and I'm gonna add it here in the head section of this HTML. Okay, so here we have this font awesome icons link. So let's start working with within the body section. So we would like to go with a div, assigning it a class. The class is gonna be player. Then let's have another element. This element is gonna be video, and here I would like to go with source, and the source I'm gonna use here is, let me go here, and I'm going to I will add the source link in the description below. You guys can get that, get this one. I'm getting this video from pexels.com, and they are like, you guys can use them, give credit to the creators, and you guys can use them. So it has many videos, but mostly the videos, the videos which Pexels have, those videos are without sound. I got it with sound, so this is the video I have used. You guys have seen this one. Okay, this is the one I've used. Okay, fine, no problem. I'll give the link in the description below. Okay, and then go to this link, go to the free download button, right click on it and copy the link address. Okay, just copy the link address, go there and paste it here. Okay, so here is the link address. We have to wrap it into codes. Okay, then after, within this, let's assign it a class, and this class is gonna be video. And then we need to say plays in line. Okay, and that's all. Fine. Then after, what we have to do, we have to create a div. This div will have a class, and the class is gonna be controls. The controls, we are going to use the volume control, play button, all these things here. Okay, so let's say let's have another div, and this div should have a class of controls container. Then what we have to do, we need that span this not here, sorry, here, this video span, the progress span. So what we can do for this one, we just have div, assign it a class. This class is gonna be progress span, and have a title. The title is gonna be seek. Let me show you. Okay, so here when you can see that it has a seek title, and if I click here, then it is jumping or bringing it to this one. So we are seeking within the video. Okay, and then after the seek, what we need another div, assigning it a class. This class is gonna be progress bar. Okay, after this, let's go to have an other division. So this div should have a class of group control. Hold on, control group. Okay, and we are going to create the controls mean these controls and this one, so on both sides, left and right side. So what I'm gonna do first is to create the left controls. Let's have a div assigning it a class, and this class is gonna be left controls, and within this left control, let's have a div assigning it a class. This class is gonna have a play options, okay, and we would like to go with a font awesome icon. So FA play title. This title is gonna be play, and you know what, let me use the capital letters. Okay, after playing, let's have an ID, and this ID, we are going to use this ID in our JavaScript play button. Okay, fine. Then we would like to go with the volume. So let's have a div here, assigning it a class, and this class is gonna be volume. Then we have another div, assigning it a class, and this class is gonna be volume icon, and again font awesome icon class. So this is gonna be FA volume up, and let's have a title. This title is gonna be mute, and let's have an ID. The ID is gonna be volume icon. Okay, we are going to use this in JavaScript. Then after this, let's have another div, assigning it a class, and this class is gonna be volume, yeah, volume line. I'm talking about this line, okay? So it's gonna be volume line, and let's have a title. Title is gonna be change volume. After this, let's have another div. This div is gonna have a class of volume bar. So volume bar, okay. Save it. Let's move on to the browser and let's see what we have done so far, okay. Okay, we didn't get the video. There should be a video, but okay, fine. So here is the problem. Okay, it was a typo, and let it search and look for it. Okay, let it do that, and yeah, after this volume bar, okay, so it searched, and here is our video plus the play button and the speaker or the volume button. So let's go back, or volume icon, sorry. So now what we do have to do next is right controls. Okay, we have done with the left controls, so now we would like to do with the right controls. and it shouldn't be here. My apologies, it should be here. Okay, now let's start another div, assigning it a class. This class is gonna be write controls. Okay, then we should have another div, and this div have a class of speed. Then let's have a title here, and this title is gonna be playback rate or playback speed. Okay, so playback rate. Then let's have some options here. So first of all, let's go with the select element, and it should have a name. The name is gonna be playback rate, and the class is gonna be player speed. Let's have a option here, and value. The value is gonna be 0.5, and let's say 0.5 and x for times. So let me copy and paste it for several times. Okay, so this one and this one, by pressing the Alt key from my keyboard, I've selected these two options. So here it's gonna be 0.75, and the next one is gonna be, here it should be 1, and this is gonna be 1.0. Then this one and this one, but it shouldn't be here. It should be 1.5. Okay, and this one is gonna be 2, and here is going to be 2.0. Okay, so save it. Then after this, let's have a, let me show you what is this. Okay, so this is the playback rate. Okay, you guys can see 0.5, 7.75, 1.0, 1.5, and 2.0. And now we need this one. Okay, this this full screen option, and this time lapse. Okay, this time lapse. So for this, what we have to do, let's have another div, assigning it a class. This class is gonna be time, and then let's have a span element, assigning it a class. This class is going to be time elapsed, and here later we will get this time dynamically, but here just to show something, we should go with this imaginary time. And I'm gonna copy this and paste it here. So this one is gonna be time duration. Okay, and it's gonna be, sorry, time duration, and 0.156, and here is, it should have a colon. Okay, let me bring it here. Okay, then after, let's create that full screen icon. So class is gonna be full screen, and sorry, full screen, and let's have an icon of FES FE expand. Okay, not extend, expand. Okay, save it. And we have done with our HTML and only with the HTML part, not with the CSS. So here is the, okay, I've made a mistake here. Let me check it. Yep, it shouldn't be here. Fine. Okay, cool. Now let's go to the CSS and start styling it. Okay, let's start styling this video player. Okay, so let's go to the main.css. First of all, here on main.css, let's go with the HTML, and here let's assign box sizing. This would be equal to border box, and let's go with the body. Body is gonna have a margin of 0. Minimum height, this is gonna be 100 view height. Background, and let's go with the background color, and it's gonna be 027887. Display is gonna be flex, and justify content, this is gonna be center. And okay, let's go with the font of some icons. So FAS, color for this is gonna be white. And first of all, let me show you. Okay, we can see, yep, cannot see here. Let's see. And then we have to go with the font size, which is 35 pixels. Let's go with the player class, and the player is gonna have a maximum width of 80 view width. Then the minimum width is gonna be 800 pixels. And border, let's go with 3 pixels solid, and black. Let's have a border radius. Border radius is gonna be 10 pixels. Then we would like to go with the background color, and here the background color is gonna be black. Then position, and it shouldn't be inherent, it should be relative. Cursor, pointer. Okay, then save it. Okay, so here you guys can see, still we need to fix this, and we are working on it. Okay, so here again, let's go to the video element. Okay, and here should go with the border radius. Border radius is gonna be 3 pixels, and the width for this 100%, I'm gonna tell you, and height is gonna be auto. Save it. Okay, so what happened here? When we say that width is gonna be 100%, so that over the exaggeration of this part, or this player, it was extending to this side, to the means it was going out from the screen. So to keep it within the screen, within the limit, we have used this border, sorry, within this video element we have used the width of 100%. Okay, so this is how we have covered that. Now the next thing is container, and here we have to go with the controls. So the controls, the width of the control is gonna be 100%. Okay, and then the height is gonna be 30%. Let's use the z index. It's gonna be 2. Position is gonna be absolute. Bottom is gonna be 0. Let's use cursor default. Again, okay. Then let's use the controls container. Here we do need to set the position, which is going to be absolute. Let's use the bottom, -5 pixels. Width is going to be 100%. Height is also going to be 95 pixels. Margin top, this is going to be -95 pixels. Background color, RGBA. It's very dark, okay, so we are going to light it. So RGBA 0, 0, 0 and 0.5. Okay, let's use the box sizing. So the box sizing is going to have a border box, and the z index is going to be 5. Let's use display. It should be flex. Justify content center. Sorry, space between. So there should be a space between. Okay, then we have to go with the opacity. So the opacity is gonna be 0, and transition all 0.5 seconds, ease out 2 seconds. Okay, save it and let me show you. Okay, fine, but not that much as it has to be. Okay, still need to fix many things. Then the next is, let's get the controls hover and controls container. So here the opacity is gonna be 1, and transition all 0.2 seconds, ease out. Okay, then we would like to go with the control group, and here let's assign the width. This is gonna be 100%. 100%. Height is gonna be again 100%, and spelling of height, okay. Then we do need display, and display is gonna be flex. Justify content space between. Save it. Moving on to the browser. Okay, so you guys can see we have to work with that black color at the back, and we have to fix all these things too. Okay, so here again let's go with the left controls. left controls and right controls too. So right controls, let's use the flex. The flex is gonna be 1, and display is gonna be flex again. Overflow, this is gonna be hidden, and position relative, let's use the top. Top is gonna be 40 pixels. Save it. Okay, still need to work on it. Okay, now let's work with this progress span. So the progress span I'm talking about, there isn't anything. I'll show you. We cannot see. So progress span, it should have a height of 8 pixels. The width is gonna be, let's use the calc function here, and 100% minus 30 pixels. Let's use the background. Background is gonna be RGBA 202, and then 202, 202, and 0.5. 0.5 or 0.5. Okay, the next is gonna have a margin of auto and border radius. Border, let me be here. Border radius is gonna be 10 pixels. Then let's use the position. Position is gonna be absolute. Left is gonna be 15 pixels. Top 15 pixels. Cursor, pointer, transition, height is gonna be 0.1 seconds. Ease, in, out, and let's use the Z index. So the Z index is gonna be 10. Okay. Okay, so you guys can see this progress span here. Okay, now what we have to do next is progress span hover, and here the height is gonna be 10 pixels. When we hover over it, it should be, you can see a bit of expansion upon this span. Okay, the next is we do had a class of, do we have let me check again. Yeah, now we are going to work with this progress bar. So progress bar, okay, it should have a background of red, okay, and the width is gonna be 50%, height is gonna be 100%, border radius, this is gonna be 10 pixels. Let's have a transition. Transition is going to be all 0.5 seconds ease. Why I'm having this with 50%? Let me show you here. You guys can see that it's 50%, just to show you guys that something is going on. But when we'll start working with JavaScript, then it will work with the code or with the functions. Okay, so then after this, let's start working with the controls. So the left controls, you know, the controls you have seen here, pop, and the left controls, let's say justify content, flex start, okay, and let's use margin left, and it's gonna be 15 pixels. Save it, move on to the browser. Okay, then we do need to work with the play options. So in play options, we'll have the margin right. Margin right, and margin right is gonna be 15 pixels. Then let's work with the volume icon and have a cursor. Cursor is gonna be pointer. Let's use the volume line, the volume bar, or that volume line. So what we have to do here, let's go with the height. Height is gonna be 8 pixels. The width for this, it will be 100 pixels. Background RGBA, so 70, and 0.5. Then we do need the border radius, and it's gonna be 10 pixels. Position, relative, top is gonna be minus 21 pixels. It's minus, okay, and left is gonna be 50 pixels. Cursor is gonna be pointer. Let's have a volume bar, work with this volume bar, and the background white. The width is gonna be 100%. Height is gonna be again 100%. Border radius would be 10 pixels. Choose the transition here. Width 0.2 seconds is in. Volume bar hover. Background is gonna be red. Save it. Okay. Now let's start working with these right controls. Okay, this one with this options, playback options, and this screen extension or expansion. So let's have a right controls, justify content, justify content flex, and margin right is gonna be 15 pixels. Let me bring it here. Let's use the speed and time. So hold on, speed and we do have a class of time. So position is gonna be relative, and top would be 10 pixels. And here is the, okay. Then the next is select element and option. So let's go with the cursor pointer. Again, let's use the select element. Let's use appearance, and it's gonna be none. Then the background is gonna be transparent. And color is gonna be white. Okay, cool, fine, but not as I want it. Okay, then the next is border. I'm talking about this border, okay? So we don't want this border here. So border is gonna be none. Font size 18 pixels. Position relative, and let's use the top. Okay, the top is gonna be minus 2.5 pixels, and yep. Then we do have a border radius, and it's gonna be 5 pixels. Okay. The next is select focus, and should say outline, gonna be none. Then we need the select option, background color RGBA 0, 0, 0 and 0.9. Okay, border none. Font size is gonna be 14 pixels. Save it. Okay, now we need to work with the time, so let's go and start working with the time. Time is gonna have a margin right, margin right 15 pixels. Color is gonna be white. Font weight bold, and let's use user select. This is gonna be none. Okay, and later I will change the font because I don't like this font. Later I will change the font. You guys can change it. Then what we do next is that full screen, and let's say cursor pointer. Save it, and it's called video full screen, where the position is gonna be relative. Top would be 50%. transform is going to be translate Y, and this is going to be minus 50%. Save it, move on to the browser. Okay, so there is this. Okay, the next is it's not responsive. Okay, so let's work with the media queries to make it responsive. So for that, what I'm gonna do, let me see. For responsiveness, let's use the media screen, and the max width is gonna be 600 pixels. This is for the vertical devices, TH. Okay, and player is minimum. The minimum width of the player is gonna be 0. Max width is gonna be 95 view width. Okay, then we need our font awesome icons. For that, here the font size, it's gonna be 20 pixels. Let's use the controls. Container height is gonna be 50 pixels. Control group position relative. Top would be minus 25 pixels. Progress span is gonna have a width of 100%. Top is gonna be 0. Left is gonna be 0 again. Border radius is gonna be 0 again. Now let's use the progress bar. So border radius is gonna be 0. Let's have a volume line, and the width for this is gonna be 50 pixels. Left is gonna be 30 pixels. Top is gonna be minus 15 pixels. Then we do need to work with the speed and time. So the top is gonna be 3 pixels. Let's work with the select, and select should have a font size of 12 pixels. Then we do need to go with let's go with the time, and the time is gonna be font size 12 pixels. Save it, and then just to set the some more settings. So this is for the vertical devices, and now let's work with the horizontal devices. So let's say horizontal, and for this again media screen, and the max width is gonna be 900 pixels. Then let's have a maximum height. The max height is gonna be 500 pixels. And let's use a player. The player is have a max height of 95 view height, and the maximum width is gonna be auto. And let's use a video element here, and the height for this is gonna be again 95 view height, and object fill is gonna be cover. I'll explain you what is this object fill. And then after this, let's have a video screen full. So video full screen, sorry. It has a height of 97.5 view height, and the border radius is gonna be 0. Save it, move on to the browser. Okay, there is it's object fit, sorry, not an object fill, object fit, sorry, my apologies. Okay, I'll explain it. What is this object fit? And here is the player. Okay, let me show you the responsiveness of this. Okay, it is here, but okay, fine, it's fine, cool. But you know what, when we will work with JavaScript, you guys will understand, and we will fix all the other issues. Okay, so let's go to the JavaScript and start working with the functionality of this video player. Okay, so we have done with our CSS. Before moving on to JavaScript, I have seen some errors made by me. So the first one is here. This controls is a class. Okay, and if you see this controls, it's a class. Yeah, okay, I forgot to add it. It's a typo mistake. And then I have found another mistake of mine, which is about the speed. Okay, so here I have to add a speed, and this one is gonna be margin right 15 pixels. Okay, let's go back to the browser. So now it's fine. Okay, we have done with our CSS. Okay, before moving on to JavaScript, let me tell you that in the beginning of this project, in this section here, in the first div within the video element, we have used this place in line. I didn't explain it in detail. Let me tell you what this place in line gonna do. I'm going to give this link in the description below, this csstricks.com, and you guys can read this article. It will explain you each and everything about place in line, what does it mean, and in how we can use it in web video. So you guys will learn a lot. I think if I explain you, it's not so that much explanatory. So the guys they are explaining it to you in depth. Okay, so I hope that you guys will read this article and will learn about this place in line, and different uses of this place in the line. Okay, then the second thing we have used in this CSS, that is object fit. Please go to the MDN web docs and type object fit CSS property, and it's going to tell you that again here they have a wonderful explanation. Again, I'm sure that I cannot explain you as well as they have explained here in their article. So please go and read it and try all the syntax they have mentioned here with the example. So I'm sure that you guys will understand this object fit property also from here. Okay, so these are the two things I want to tell you, that you guys read these articles and you will learn more about this rather than my explanation. Okay, I'm gonna give the links of these two in the description below. Please check the description. Okay, and yes, the code of this video also you guys will find it in the description. So now let's go to our JavaScript and start working with our JavaScript. So I'm gonna declare the variables here. So the first one is gonna be player, and document dot query selector. It's gonna be player. Then another one, video, document dot query selector, and we have to use a video. Progress span, document dot query selector. Again, we're gonna have a progress span, then progress bar, and document dot query selector, and it is a progress bar. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is an ID, and this is the ID of a play button. So let's say play btn, document dot query selector, and this is an ID, so we are not going to sorry, it's not a query selector, this is an ID, so we should go with a get element by ID method. And here we are not going to use any kind of hash tags, we are just using play btn. Okay, the next is gonna be volume icon. So it's by ID, sorry, get element by ID, and it's gonna be volume icon. Okay, then we have a volume line, and should say document, and the volume line is a query selector, so query selector, and we have to say volume line. Okay, another variable, this one be volume bar, document dot query selector, and we have to go with the volume bar. Speed, query selector, and we have to define the player speed. Then we gonna use current time, document current time is gonna be query selector, and it should use time elapsed class. So then after we have to go with the duration, and document query selector, time duration. Let's use another variable of full screen for full screen button, and it's full screen. Okay, document and query selector method, and let's see, full screen. Okay, so we have declared our variables here. Now the next thing is, here I would like to define the event listeners. So the first event listener, let's have a play btn, add event listener, and we are going to use a click event here, and let's name it toggle play. And I would like to have another one which will be video, add event listener, again click. Let me tell you what this will do. Toggle play, P-L-A-Y, toggle play. Okay, so whenever we will click on this where is okay, here on this button, it will play. Plus we have said that video also, so whenever we click anywhere on the video, it will play. So that's why we have this one for video and for the play button. Okay, so let's create this toggle function first, and this toggle play. Okay, here I'm gonna have my function is gonna be toggle play, and within this function let's apply a condition that if video paused, then video should be play. Okay, and fine, else the other condition would be video pause, not paused, pause. Okay, save it, move on to the browser, and when I click here, it is playing. If I click on the button again, okay, but we cannot see any kind of changes in the button. So like it's playing, we don't know that it's playing. It's just there isn't any kind of other option or a pause button which shows that the video is moving, or so first of all, let me close these tabs. Okay, for this let me try to explain you with the code. So play button, let's add a class list property, and let's see, replace font awesome icon, fail play, and FA pause. Okay, and let's set the attribute. So play BTN and set attribute. The attribute we gonna set is a title, and the title is gonna be pause. Okay, save it. Let me show you what I was trying to explain here. When I click on the button, now the button changes. It replaces itself to the pause button. If I click here, okay. But now it's on pause. Let's do something else with this. So that something else is, let's create another function. Here, function. This function is gonna be display play icon and play BTN classless property. So replace pause. The pause is gonna be replaced with the play. Okay, play. And again, let's set the attribute. So set attribute, and the attribute we're gonna set is a title here. Title is gonna be play. Okay, now let's call this function, this display play icon function here. Save it. Okay, move on to the browser. Let me click here anywhere on the video. Okay, and now when we stop, it's back to its play position, because we replace it, the pause replaced with the play button, and here on top the play replaced with the pause button. Okay, or the pause icon. Let me play it from the button. And you guys can see the attributes we have mentioned, the attributes, the play and the pause attribute. Okay, fine. There is another thing, that when this video ends, it should play, the video ends and it is still there is a pause button. We wanted to back it into the play button. So how we can do that? Let's go and let's have an event here. So let's say video.add event listener, and here we should use ended. Okay, and display play icon. Okay, now it's gonna display the play icon. Go back to the browser. Let me click on the button. Okay, so when the video ends, the pause back to its position, which was this play one. Okay, so I hope until here you guys understand what we have done. Okay, now let's start working with this progress span and this time. Okay, so for this, first of all, let me go to the event listeners, and here I would like to go with the video dot add event listener, and the event listener I would like to have here is a time update, and then span update. Okay, we are going to update this time and the span. Okay, and the other one we are going to have, again, it's a video add event listener, and here we are going to use the can play event, can play, and we are going to use the same span update function. Let's create this span update function below. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here in this section, just I would like to have a function here. The function is going to be span update, and let's say console.log and current time. So current time, then we have to say we are saying that video current time, and then duration and video duration. Okay, save it, move on to the browser. Here in the console you guys can see that the total duration of the video is 13.333 seconds, and when I play this video you will see that the time is increasing. Okay, it starts from 1, okay, 0 2 2 4 6 7 2 1 2 3 4. If I play it again, like okay, so it's moving, the time is moving, but here we are not updating, the time is not updating here, and the span is also on its same position. So let's go and work on this thing. First of all, let's comment out this console, and for updating this progress bar or this span, how we are going to do, we say progress bar and style dot width, style width. Here we are going to use the templates, and should say video current time divided by video duration, and we will multiply this with 100, and we are going to see 100%, because here it changes the CSS properties. The CSS property is gonna change, so let me show you here. And here is the progress bar. You see there isn't that red color we had before. So here is the element, and first of all the progress span, let me open it for you guys. The width is 0%. Okay, let me play it, and you guys just notice this section. Let me bring it here, easy for you to see. Okay, so just notice here what and the width, it is telling the time of the width 892 100%. Okay, but here the span is moving on. That's good, great, but the timing is not changing. So let's go and start working with the time. Okay, let it be like this, no need to change. Okay, so for the time, what we have to do, let's create another function. This function is gonna be show time, and let's pass time within this function. Let's have a const of minutes, and we are going to use the math.floor method. We are saying time divided by 60, and let's seconds again, math.floor method, and let's say time, the remainder of this this 60. Okay, so time modulus 60 or remainder 60. What we have to do next is let's say seconds is equal to seconds greater than 9. We are using the ternary operator here, and seconds, let's use the template string here, and we should say seconds, and it will return the minutes, so you guys will understand. Let me do this and I'll explain you. Again, seconds, and error, typo error. Okay, and now let's have this show time function here. Let's have it here. So current time, then the text content, and we should go with the template strings. We have to say that the show time, okay, it's gonna show the time, video current time, okay, and then we have to ask the duration, text content, sorry, hold on, just a minute, okay, and duration, text content, then again we're gonna use the to show time and video duration. Save it, move on to the browser, not this one, here, and okay, so now you guys can see that that function is showing the actual time of the video. Let me, if you want to be here, okay, let's play. And it was updating continuously. Now what we need is that whenever we click anywhere here on this progress bar, it should seek that certain part of the video, should move on to that certain part of the video. So for that, let's go and create a function for that one. Okay, so let's go back here. After this span update, we should create a function that when we click on that, it should go to that certain part of the video. Okay, so here is the function. Function is gonna be span time. Okay, let's pass event here and console.log. Let's find event. I'm gonna explain you this. So here it is. Okay, not here. This and not this one. Not here. Hold on. Let me do it again. When I click here, it's not working. Let me check. Oh yeah, you know what? I haven't created this span time. I didn't call it here. So first of all, let's go and call this function here. So it's gonna be progress span and add event listener and click. When we click, let's say span time. Okay, my apologies. Now let's go back and let me click here. Okay, you guys can see when I click on the in the beginning there is the event occurs, and let me click here at the end, the event occur. First of all, let's go to this event and let me show you at what I'm looking for. Here I'm looking for this offset X. So when I clicked here on top here in the beginning, the offset X is 11. Okay, and let me show you, this is the first one, the one we call in the beginning, and this is the one we have called here. We clicked here at the end, and here the offset axis 1183. These are the pixels. It is telling us about the pixels. How we can do this now? Let me go back, and not to talk too much, let's code and you guys will understand. So let's have a const, create a new time function here, new time constant, and it's gonna have a event offset X divided by progress span and offset width. Okay, then progress bar style dot width, and I'll show you what kind of function this will perform. Okay, let's have a new time multiply by 100 and again the percentage, and let's say video, if we console it, I don't think we need a console.log. Let's go direct with it. Video dot current time, and here we have to go with the new time. It's gonna multiply with the video duration. Okay, sorry, save it, move on. There is something. Okay, let's go and play. Yeah. Let me come back. It is, it comes back to the 7 seconds. If I click here, 2 seconds, again 5 seconds, 7 seconds, the time is updating here, again 12, at the end 13. So it is working nicely. You can see here again 1 second, 2, 5. Okay, so it's working fine. Now the next thing is that what we have to do next is, hold on, let's go to the browser. Okay, so we have done with our play button, with this span, with all the skipables, and with the timing also. Now let's start working with our volume bar and volume icon. So here, first of all, let's go to this event listeners, and let's have a event, and this event is gonna be, let's call it volume line, add event listener, and this I'm gonna work on click, and let's say change volume, and let's have a, okay, let's work with this change volume first. Okay, so how we can do this, go down, let's start working with the, so let's say volume, create a function is gonna be change volume, pass an event, and let's select volume and offset X, and volume line with the offset width. Okay, and let's do console.log, say volume, save it. Here we are. Here is the volume. 0 at this point is 0.07, 0.23, 0.51, 76, 9.7, 0.97, 7946, and blah blah blah. Okay, so you have seen the values here. Now let's rounding up or down these volumes. Okay, let's comment out this one, and let's round up or down the value. So for that, if, let's apply the condition here, if volume is less than 0.1, then volume is gonna be 0. And let's have another condition, that would be if volume is greater than 0.9, then the volume is gonna be 1. Okay, save it. Then after, let's work with this. Okay, so now let's work with this volume bar. So to style it, first of all, let's say volume bar style dot width equals to, okay, width, and let's use the backtick. This is gonna be volume multiply by 100 and percent. Then we have to use the video volume, which will be equal to volume, save it, and let's check. Okay, need to work again. Now let's work with the icon. So then after it will be fine and understood that how we can do this. Change the icon. Okay, let's change the icon. So let's change this icon according to the volume. We need to change this icon. So for this, what we have to do, let's go and let's see volume icon, class name, and then we have to say if volume is greater than 0.7, then volume icon is gonna add a class list and has to add font awesome icons. So let's add a font awesome icon, FA volume up. Let's have another condition that would be else if volume is less than 0.7 and volume is greater than 0. So in this condition, let me bring it here. Okay, so in this condition, the volume icon get the class list property and add an other font awesome icon, and this would be FA volume down, spelling of volume down. Then there would be another condition that would be that if else volume is equal to 0, then volume icon, add the class list property, and then it will add again a font awesome icon, and that would be FA volume off, and then it will have an ending volume. So let's say end volume, that would be equal to volume, and let's have this end volume, let's call this end volume here on top. So we can say declare this variable that end volume, that will be equal to 1. Save it. Okay, let's move on to the browser and let me close it and let's check that sound is very low. Then bring it here. Actually, the sound is guys feel the difference? There isn't any sound. Let me. Okay, and so there is no sound. Okay, and the icon is also. Okay, so you guys have seen that when we has a full sound, when we bring it here, the icon change, and there's a difference between the sound. It is slower, and if I click again, it is more slower, right? And again, if I don't have anything, it's on 0. So when I click on it, then there is no sound. Okay, so I want to have another option over here on this icon, that when we don't need any kind of a sound, we don't have to bring it to like this. We just have to click on the icon and it has to stop the music or the sound, so a kind of a mute. Okay, not a kind, actually it has to mute. So let's go and start working on the muting function. Let's go to the event listeners, and here first of all I would like to have an event volume icon, add event listener, and this is gonna be click, and this click is, this will have a function, this toggle mute. Let's go down and start creating this mute function. So let's say mute. Okay, let's have a function toggle mute, and within this function let's have a volume icon and a class name that will be equal to nothing. Then let's apply a condition here. The condition is gonna be if video volume, and if video volume would have a end volume and volume, then the video volume that will be equal to video volume, and the video volume would be equal to 0. Okay, and volume icon with a class list property has to add a font awesome icon, and that font awesome icon is gonna be fa volume mute, and volume icon will set an attribute, and the attribute is gonna have a title, and the title is gonna be unmute. Okay, mute and unmute, and then we should say that the volume bar, here we are styling the volume bar style width gonna be 0. Okay, so it's the volume bar style width would be 0. Let's use the other condition, else video volume gonna be end volume, video volume gonna be end volume, and volume icon add a class list property. Let's add a font awesome icon, and that let's add a font awesome icon, and that will have a fa volume up, and again the volume icon setting attribute, set attribute, and attribute is gonna be title, and then it's gonna be mute. Okay, so let's work with the volume bar and style width, and that will be equal to what it's gonna do, the end volume. When there will be an end volume means that would be we will multiply this with 100 and 100 and get the remainder. Let's save it. I'll show you how it works. Okay, so here is the video. What we have to do, let's play this. Click on it and there is no sound. I click on it, there is a sound. Again. It is increasing timely. So this is what we have done with our volume icon plus with this volume bar. The next we have to do, we have to work is with the speed, to change the speed, and at the end we will do this expansion, this free screen expansion. So let's go and start working with the speed. Okay, first of all, let's go to the event listeners. Here on top I have my event listeners. First of all, I would like to say speed dot add event listener, and let's say change. We are going to call the change event here, and the change event is gonna change speed. Okay, so let's create this change speed function here at the bottom. Okay, let's create a function. The function is gonna be change speed. Okay, so we have a change speed function. Let's do console.log and video playback rate, and then we have to do video playback rate and error, video playback rate, save it, and function change speed, and I think there must be a problem somewhere. Let me check my event or change speed. Yep, and yes, I didn't call any kind of parameter change speed. And then let's have an other console. Let's go to the browser. Here, console.log. Let me bring it here again. Console. Okay, and just a minute, let's console.log, and let's say selected value, and then speed value. Okay, speed value, selected value, speed value, and this shouldn't be in the code. Here is the error value. Okay, so it's speed value, sorry. Okay, just let's move on. Actually, there is a construction going on in my neighbors, and I just want to avoid all that stuff. So you can see here, playback rate 1, selected value 0.75. Let's go to this one, 1 and 1. You guys can see here. Then let's go here. It is playback rate 1, selected value 2. Okay, selected value 0.5. So let's go. Let's comment out this one, and let's say video playback rate, and this will be equal to speed value. Save it and move on to the browser. So let me close it. So here is see, wait a minute, speed. Much if we decrease the speed to 0.5. Let's go back. Notice it's 0.5, okay? And if we go to, it's half of the speed. And if we go to 1, then you guys can see the difference. It's a normal one. And if we go to 2, then see it's the highest one. So we have done with our speed also. Now let's go and work with this expansion or full screen. Okay, so with the for the full screen, first of all, let's go on top to my event listeners, and here let's say full screen BTM, add event listener, and this time we are having an event of click, then toggle full screen. Okay, toggle full screen. And for full screen, what I'm gonna do is, let me save it here, and here at the bottom, again I'm gonna give this link in the description below. It is W3, where is that? Let me show you. W3 schools. Okay, and here in the how to section, let me show you that they have given the full example of this. So I've got this code from here. It is not difficult to understand. Just let me copy this code from here, and we are just going to change the variable. They name it element, so we are going to change it to element. And let's copy this one from here, and here let's say full screen, and here is that. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna add the element here, so ELEM, and it is here for different browsers. Okay, so here let's add a video class list add, and what we have to do here, we have to say video full screen. Okay, and then at the bottom here we should remove the class, so we should say video dot class list and remove. Over there we added, here we are going to remove it, so we have to say video full screen, and then we should say that let full screen is equal to false. Okay, and that function, the toggle function, let's create the toggle function here, the toggle full screen. So toggle full screen, hold on, let me check, is there any error in my function here on top? Toggle full screen. Okay, toggle full screen, and then if not full screen, using ternary operator here, then open full screen player, and else close full screen, close full screen. Okay, and full screen not equal to not full screen. Save it, move on to the browser. Here is the player. Okay, so it is opening in a full screen, and again it is back to its normal position. And so this is what we have done with our video player. I hope that you guys like this project. It will help you in learning JavaScript. The next project I am planning to create this theme changer. Okay, this would be the next project in which we will learn how we can create this toggle mode, this dark and light mode in any website. So don't forget to subscribe the channel if you didn't subscribe yet, and if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Let me show you all the functionalities we have created in this one. So let's start working. It is playing, the button is also working. When you click within the video, it is also working. Then this volume bar, it is working from the volume bar. Okay, and it is also muting, and it is giving us high volume also. Let's go with this speed, timing. Okay, let me bring it back, and here you guys can see the time also, plus the toggle functionality of full screen and the normal screen. And I hope that you guys like this project. If so, don't forget to subscribe the channel and wait for the next project in which we are going to learn to add the light and dark theme. Okay, so see you in the next project. Hasta la vista. Ciao ciao.